Tony already looking confused, like he's never hosted this show and has never seen.
I've never seen it jump from like 5 to 25 before. Like
That's how it was when I downloaded it. I tried to fix it. It was not easy. I gave up. It was supposed to be a temporary intro. It's kept going. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to the Disney Morning Show, Tuesday edition. I am Kyle, the editorial director for Laughing Place, and joining me today is our animation guru, Tony.
Hello.
I knew exactly which stories you were going to take when I put this document, when I sent that over to you. Let's say some hellos real quick before we jump into our first segment.
Well, okay, hello to Geo. I got to tell you, I was like, no, he did it wrong. It's greetings programs, but good morning to you, Geo. Good morning, Fred. Nikki's happy to see me, it seems, so thanks, Nikki. And big shocker, no technical? I'm assuming that's one of our members-only emojis.
It's you. Yeah, it's technically, technically Tony is one of the member emojis. But let's get started with this show the way we start every show. So when we did this on Thursday, it was $117.71. Let's check out Disney's stock today. It is the exact same, and it was not until I refreshed it right now, which is pretty amazing. Oh no, it's inverse. Sorry, I'm never mind. It's 117.17. It was 117.71. So it is down a bit. But that is hysterical that it was close enough that I didn't even notice the error until reading further. Anyway, let's move right along. We have breaking news because this morning Disney let us know when DinoLand, or the rest of DinoLand USA at Disney's Animal Kingdom, would be closing. So here's the deal. It's closing February 2nd, which means the last day to experience dinosaur and what else is left over there will be
walking through the area. February
1st. Obviously, the Boneyard closed yesterday. Chester and Hester's closed
January, I think.
January officially, and then Primeval World was even longer. So yeah, it's a long time coming, but February is when it will close to become Tropical Americas, which is still slated to open sometime in 2027. So there are a few other things that they're doing as part of this. First of all, because chicken nuggets are served at Restaurantosaurus, is that where it is?
Yeah.
Harambe Market is going to be closing in December. It'll reopen later in the winter, so probably around the time that this closes. And it'll start serving a menu that includes cheeseburgers, nuggets, all those theme park classics instead of its slightly more adventurous menu that it currently has.
Almost like McDonald's-esque kind of food.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Donald and... more importantly, those adorable Chippendale. I don't know if they're going to stay with the dinosaur outfits.
Yeah.
They will be relocated to another meet and greet location that has yet to be announced. Another adjustment is that Cali River Rapids is going to be closing for its annual refurbishment a bit earlier than normal. It'll close in October so that it can reopen in December and will be open when these closures happen. So any thoughts on this, Tony?
I think it's interesting that they're moving so far away to Harambe with the food. I feel like they could have thrown it at Pizza Safari also, because that would all kind of be in the same kind of spot.
Pizza Safari, Tony.
Right, but it's generic enough, right? It could have been there. They're not going to put it at Pandora, so Harambe is pretty far, so from where they're used to.
Also, one thing I forgot to note is apparently Finding Nemo is technically in DinoLand. It is not closing. The theater will remain. The show will stay there. I don't know where it'll be reassigned, which land wants to annex it, but that will not be closing with the rest of DinoLand.
I think it will go to Asia because there's two sides to it, right? The DinoLand entrance and then the Asia entrance. And
they should just call it the EAC.
Yeah, there you go. But you're going to have to go past Everest over that bridge now to get to it. I would guess. That's not official, but I don't see why they would keep the DinoLand bridge open to that one side path for no reason other than that.
See, I don't know that park well enough to know what you're talking about. That's why I didn't know that it was even in DinoLand. So I'm glad you're here.
Fred
Any
also is
comments to catch up on before we get into our big recap of Destination D23?
Yeah, Fred also is kind of where I'm at. Like, why Harambe? That seems strange. Not strange, but I guess they have those stalls, so it makes a little sense. And then Geo has a theory that Encanto will take over Nemo at some point. It could. And I mean, Tarzan took over Jungle Book pretty quick. And
but would it be weird to have like a stage show, which is obviously supposed to be a stage show, right next to what's supposed to be like the casita?
I agree, but
it'd almost have to be like they put on a play about their family, and it's not supposed to be them; it's people playing them. Which, like a Thor, where you have them doing a Thor play.
Nothing surprises me anymore, and I go back to like on the Disney Magic. There's a Tangled dinner show that if you have it on the right rotation, you will then leave to go watch the Tangled Broadway show on the theater. So tell me that one.
Well, even though there was not, I don't know, would you call, let's talk about this. Before Destination D23 happened, they were downplaying the amount of news that would come out of it. There wasn't an official parks panel. They're like, there's not going to be a lot of big news, some small things. But then the Walt Disney Company site goes out and says major announcements from Destination D23. Would you say that there were major announcements, or would you just say that there were some tidbits?
There were announcements. Major to me is new land, new park. I would say announcements. I wouldn't say tidbits because I think they're bigger than that. Yeah. Tidbit to me is the TRON news we got, which we'll talk about in a minute. But there's other bigger things that I think are.
That's fair.
I wouldn't say major, but decent.
Well, if you're going to pick one that I think was the biggest announcement and biggest surprise from the show, I would say it's this, and that is that Walt Disney himself, or at least an animatronic of Walt Disney himself, will be coming to the Carousel of Progress at Magic Kingdom. This will be an intro scene, so presumably where, right now there's just the gear and the voiceover telling you about the history. Now, presumably Walt will tell you a bit about the history of the attraction. They also kind of teased updates for the rest of the attraction, kind of vaguely, so we don't know like how in depth it'll be, if it'll just be the last scene, whether they're gonna, completely revise it. Personally, I'm just glad. I think this makes a lot of sense, first of all. Second of all, I'm just glad that this extends the life of this attraction. It's one of my favorites. I don't have a whole lot of sacred cows when it comes to Disney parks, but I'd say that this is about as close as you can get. Yep. So I'm very glad that it's going to be sticking around. So whatever form it takes, I'll be happy.
So when we saw him debut at Disneyland, I knew it was only a matter of time before he made an appearance in Florida. It was always kind of comes down to where. And I thought for sure, especially with them doing the new animation courtyard layover to the studios, it would go into Walt Disney Presents, especially because it's also one man's dream. But no, way off. It's landing at Carousel of Progress. So I think it's a good fit, but I'm also curious, and I know they have kind of hinted at updating the rest of it, but I'm very curious to see how they will do it. Because right now the big draw will be Walt at the intro, and they already have a problem with people getting up and leaving mid.
They do?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Every time I'm on that ride, I have to sit through at least one scene twice because somebody got up and left or is standing up. So, so I think that might become a bigger issue unless they redo the whole thing, enticing people to sit down. But yeah.
Interesting. Well, that wasn't the only piece of somewhat unexpected news. This is you.
Oh, this is me. Yes. In a similar way to how some of our politics operate, Disney's responding to a problem that they themselves created and making everybody applause and cheer as we're reverting back to the original color scheme of Cinderella Castle with the grays, creams, blues, and golds that it once had before the 50th, when they made it look like what I refer to as the Pueblo Castle. It looks great in pictures with the pinks and the royal blues and those like rich blues.
I think it looks sunburned. That's what I call it.
But in person, it looks like a darker pink or almost like a clay. That's why I call it the Pueblo Castle.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so I'm excited to see it go back to its original form here. But again, it was something like everybody cheered for and got excited for. I'm like, they created the problem how many years ago now? So
I know, but
I also think
the idea is that they're listening to us. That's
Yes.
what people take away from it.
That's also true. But I also think that a light gray is easier to project on than multi shades of pink. So
True.
just saying.
I didn't hate the 50th castle, but I do think I prefer the original. So I'll be happy to see it go back. Bring on the cake castle again. I don't care. I like that. Speaking of different color pinks. But some other news that we got, and one that you won't have to wait very long for, is that there's going to be a Tron Ares overlay for Tron Lightcycle Run and Tron Lightcycle Power Run. This will so instead of having the blue and orange, it'll be a lot more reds, as you can see in one of these photos. So that's there you go. Very menacing.
Yeah, that is very dark looking.
In addition, it'll have the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack pumped in instead of the Daft Punk one. And this will come September 15th, just a couple weeks away at Magic Kingdom, and the 16th at Shanghai. And Tony, when I saw that there's going to be the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, all I want in the world now is the return of Rockin' Both Parks with the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. I did a recap with Benji. We talked about that, and he was like, Nine Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack. I'm like, hey, it could have been the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
there's also rumors that there was going to be a rock and roller coaster at DCA that was going to be No Doubt, which actually would have been pretty cool.
That would have been cool, and I think that would have worked really well because they're from Anaheim and everything.
Yeah, they have the key to Anaheim. They got it on stage during a K-Rock thing at the Fantasyland Theater at Disneyland.
I'm going to bring up a comment real quick. Gio said that's going to be tricky timing depending with load for Carousel of Progress. Still thinking sometime down. Carousel of Progress could have gone. That's why I also think they're redoing the whole rest of the ride, because you will have to now adjust the timing for each scene, unless you're going to crank out Walt like real quick.
I mean, it's only a 2-minute thing in
that last blurb at the but I'm very curious to see how it's going to be done, and that's why I do think it's being updated. But either way, I think we're saying goodbye to Ralphie. So if you're fans of A Christmas Story and haven't put that together yet, today you learned.
Well, now we are going to enter the Tony-centric section where we're going to talk about animation, starting with the announcement of an all-new Disney movie.
So for those of you who are animation fans, we all kind of know Thanksgiving weekend is usually slotted for some kind of major film from Walt Disney Animation Studios, and we didn't know anything about next year's yet until this weekend, and we learned it was called Hexed, and it's a teenage boy who has a sort of awkward weirdness to him, and his type A mom, and they figure out that weirdness is actually some magical abilities that whisk them into a magical realm. Now, this is the one piece of art that we have, and I believe it will be CG. I would love, love, love to be wrong about that, but I can't imagine that they have done a 2D film this low on the radar for how many years now. But yeah, it is. They have waited quite a long time, and we are now hearing about it a year before it comes out. It is set for fall of next year, which I do believe will also take out that Thanksgiving slot for.
They said November of next year, but didn't say Thanksgiving for some reason. But
I thought they only said fall. But okay, cool. So
I thought so too. That's what I originally heard. But then maybe it was in the press release after the panel or whatever, where it does say November. At least what I thought I saw. Now I got to double check later. But then we got a new look at something we already knew.
At the character I am probably most anticipated for Toy Story 5, as well as others. We got our first look at Smarty Pants, a toilet training tablet type device voiced by Conan O'Brien, coming to Toy Story 5. We knew Conan was going to be the voice, and it's kind of been hinted at. If you're a fan of his podcast, it's been mentioned a number of times. I know recently Tim Oliphant was on it and laughed at him and said, the fifth movie of any franchise is always the best one. So glad you held out. But this is the first time we actually got to see the character. We didn't really know what was going on other than his name. But it's definitely toilet paper inspired. You could look at it in the design. And then if you look at the little LED bar on it, it also says its name. I also threw this picture in there because it's good fun of Conan at the studio. So,
almost as tall as the statue.
Almost as tall as the giant lamp, yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's fun because we knew the character name, we knew Conan was the voice, but then you see it, you're like, oh, it's a potty training toy.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
I also, because they're hyping him so much, I think there's more. He's more than a cameo. I think this is going to be a
Secret villain.
significant character. I didn't say it, but I'm thinking it. I think there are times where this could be.
Who needs toilet training? That's the real danger.
Well,
anyway.
So rampant speculation. This is not confirmed by any way, but I honestly think because you have the new tablets and it's toys versus technology, right? He's kind of a middle ground, so we'll see.
So he's gonna be a turncoat. He's an ally.
Maybe.
Then goes.
Who knows?
Are you like that? I had the rampant speculation banner.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that it was there.
I put that in there probably for this reason in the past. So
yeah, but then finally wrapping up our animation corner.
We should have closed with the one I was really excited about. But
sorry, I put them in order of importance. I thought.
Okay, Ice Age Boiling Point, the next film in the Ice Age franchise, which I think is giving The Land Before Time a run for their monmoney. But revealed this.
I'd have to look at how many Land Before Time got to. Granted, most of them were direct to video.
I think there's 27 of them. But revealed. This was originally revealed at D23 Brazil. And it was promised for late 2026. Now we got a little bit of a delay, but not huge. It's February of 2027 now when it comes out. Excuse me. But it seems that most of the voice cast is returning. Ray Romano, John Leguizamo, Queen Latifah, Dennis Leary, Deborah, and Simon Pegg are all coming back for this new one. Other than that, we don't really know a whole lot, other than it's never before seen corners of the Lost World. So,
and they've reached their boiling point.
212
Fahrenheit.
There's another film though in the works that we're about to see, right, Kyle?
That great segue, Tony. Yeah. It's not loading at the second, but Leslie Iwerks, who you might be familiar with, has deep ties to Imagineering and is also a great filmmaker. The Imagineering story series on Disney Plus. She's got a new one coming out called Disneyland Handcrafted. This will feature never before seen construction footage of Disneyland. They released a trailer for it that we won't watch here because copyright, but you can watch it over on our site. And it's not only going to be on Disney Plus this winter, it'll also be on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch it.
That one kind of surprised me. I thought that was interesting. But
yeah, I heard that their logic is we just want as many people to be able to see this as possible. So
can I share two anecdotes real quick about
you may share two anecdotes before we move on to your next story? Yes.
So first of all, when I first saw something called Disneyland Handcrafted show up in my feed, I was like, what is this? Are we doing our own like pale ales now or something at the park? What is happening? What is DCA up to? And then I found out it was Discovery. And then my wife goes, how is Leslie Iwerks' documentary about Disneyland going to be different than any other documentary about Disneyland that we've already seen? And I know from the trailer, and you can watch this on our site, is it already includes a ton of new footage that has not been unearthed or seen yet. And then I was like, plus it's Leslie Iwerks, who has done all these other great documentaries. The Pixar story, shocker, is probably my favorite of them all. So
yeah.
Gesundheit. So we'll jump from that to blasting away into the Imagineers behind the new Villains Land at Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World are...
This is not inside the Villains Land.
No, are doing some research trips to Paris, France, and Barcelona, Spain to learn all about architecture. And they're really ramping up the Art Nouveau style, it seems, for the Villains Land. But while they talked about that too, they also... I'm going to say revealed in loose quotes because we talked about it a while ago, that Andreas Deja, the Disney legend responsible for Gaston, Jafar, and Scar, is also on the design team for the Villains Land at Magic Kingdom.
That was kind of fun to see people be like, oh, this is breaking news. We're like, yeah, we reported on that like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, it was San Diego Comic-Con when we talked to him and he said that?
Yeah, so I guess a month ago. But yeah, so pretty cool. Like, yeah, no new concept art, no real details, but look at some of the inspiration that they're taking into it. So
it looks like it's very Art Nouveau, and I'm intrigued by that. I'm more of an Art Deco guy myself. I like the angles, but Art Nouveau is very villainous in a way. Real quick, Simon Pegg as Buck Wild, says Fred. That would be my guess because he did the that character,
Not
and then
Scotty?
he had his own. Say that again.
Not Scotty?
No, not Scotty.
No.
Yeah, because he even had his own movie on Disney Plus. I remember watching that. And then I'm assuming he's referring to Leslie Iwerks. She was one of the talks I regret missing when she was in town for the D100 series.
Well, Disney. Well, so here's the deal: Worlds of Frozen at Disneyland Paris is now slated to open in spring 2026, which then means, by extension, because they've said when this opens, then it'll switch from Walt Disney Studios Park to Disney Adventure World. So that means that Disney Adventure World will be coming in spring 2026. They released this new look at the actual land so far. So pretty cool. Yes, Tony.
So it's Adventure World, and it's World of Frozen. Are they retheming every other, or renaming every other land to World of Avengers, World of
basically, partially? There's some other worlds, I think. I forget the name of all the stuff. But yeah, no, there's some already retheming. I think there's actually like a World of Pixar section already.
I know. Actually, yeah, I remember that, and because they had the stickers.
Imagine that you remember.
Yes.
And then finally, going back to talk of Imagineering, the latest episode of We Call It Imagineering will be coming soon. This one looking at all sorts of Disney castles. This was announced during the castle panel in which they announced that they'd be redoing Cinderella Castle, even though the dude called it Cinderella's Castle, and I can't believe anybody allowed that to stand. This will debut Monday, September 8th. So you'll have this, and then a week later on the Imagineering channel, you get the next episode of Imagineer That with Tom Morrow 2.0. So lots of good stuff happening over at the channel there. And then we're going to do the Disney Plus Top 10, but do you have anything to say while I log into my account?
Gio has a fun little Epcot nerd pun. I'm an Epcot nerd, so I appreciate it. Cards can be World of Motion. I liked it. So
nice. I am wearing a very loud purple tie-dye shirt, which is actually a Lorcana shirt that was given to me during my speed puzzling adventure at Gen Con, in case you were wondering.
Do I need to make a caption for that too? Provided by Lorcana Gen Con puzzling.
Let's look at the Disney Plus Top 10. As you can see Rich Eisen, now available, his first show today. I'm sure Rebecca's watching that, and we'll probably be reviewing it later. If I had to guess, don't know for sure. Making the jump over to Disney Plus from Roku, but let's check out the top 10 on the full TVMA edition. Thunderbolt, The New Avengers, and number 1. Ice Age, people getting ready for the boiling point in 2 years. Currently number 2. Incredibles.
People getting ready for Incredibles 3 and whoever knows how long.
Mean Girls must be fairly new to Hulu. It is indeed not a Disney movie, but is on Hulu. Brave New World, Rio, Alien Earth. These are the things you can't get when Doobie's here. Freaky Friday, Hercules, lots of nostalgia over the weekend with Susan Egan and all that, and then The Parent Trap. So pretty good top 10. What do you think?
I like that Hercules is up in there. The Incredibles is a little surprising. That seems kind of random, but
Fantastic Four is in theaters. People need to.
That's true. It's the same movie.
Well, as you might expect, we have a lot of around LP to go around. First of all, the latest episode of the On Balance podcast, we talk a little bit about what to expect at Destination D23. And we talked with Scott Gustin. I forgot to ask him if I could call him Scotty G, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So we talked with Scott. Let me see. Benji's essay was about K-pop Demon Hunters and what lessons we can learn from it in terms of box office and original animation. So Tony, you'll need to listen to that. And then I talk about a nomenclature dilemma that Disney has created for itself and how they can fix that. You can find that wherever you listen to podcasts. Up next, where is it? Oh, our latest episode of The Laughing Place on location. We have so many different shows now. We also have 2 episodes of LP Pulse that I forgot to put in here.
On location, on balance, on scene.
On everything. We should call it
on air. Call this the morning show on air from now
Yeah, so anyway, our latest episode of Laughing Place on Location, even with all the fun of D23, that'll be next week. Play and Preview, which you might remember is where they announced all the stuff that we're like, why aren't they announcing this at Destination D23? Jeremiah's got coverage from that you can check out right here on our YouTube channel. Also on our YouTube channel, you will find so many videos from Destination D23. I think we have pretty much every panel in full, aside from ones that we got blocked for various things. So you can watch all of those. If you're pro tip, if it says full panel in green, it's from day 1. If it says full panel in yellow, it's from day 2. We also have lots of Horror Night stuff up there, so you have to kind of wade through that to get down to the Destination D23 stuff. Also on Laughing Place, Rebecca gave us her full recap of her ESPN experiences, Ultimate Fantasy Football Weekend. So you can check that out. Looks very exciting. You can also take a glimpse at her draft board and see that some good picks, along with some players that are not on any team currently, and ones that are on practice squads. But that's how it goes when you end up doing these before all of those decisions are made. And speaking of football picks, we'll be back on Thursday with those because the first NFL game is on then. Almost done. Bill continues his Touchstone and Beyond film retrospective with a look at Gold, The Dream Begins, which is a movie that I say I have seen that poster. Don't know anything else about it, but you can learn more about it, which she says is actually quite good. So you can check out his thing. And then finally, Tony, as I said, we have full videos of a lot of the panels. We also have plenty of recaps, but I wanted to focus on one in particular that you did.
Yeah, I was able to watch. I wasn't in the room, but because of our panel videos, I was able to watch a panel celebrating X Atencio, Disney legend, who I learned was also the only writer and artist on WED at the time. So he was the only one who could do both, I guess. And he wrote. He's responsible for Yoho, A Pirate's Life for Me. He did a lot of stop motion work that I was not aware he even did. And I knew he animated back in the day with Ward Kimball on Melody and Toot Whistle Plunk and Boom, some shorts, which was actually his first screen credit, something else I learned. But yeah, all kinds of little fun facts like that. That was one of the most shocking ones. Okay, so first, let's go back to the skull. Who knew he did the voice of the skull? I thought that was impressive. I had not known that. But X Atencio...
Sounds like something I would have heard at some point and then just forgot.
Right, but they explained there was multiple generations of Atencios on the panel. Apparently, they have stayed within the company and collectively have, or not collectively, but since X and carrying down the family line, they have been with the Disney company for 87 years.
Wow.
But yeah, X did the voice of the skull before the drop because they had already released all the voice cast, didn't want to hire them again. And they said, oh, we need a safety spiel of some kind. So that's where that came in. But he also did the final sketch for Figment. Read more about that in the post. But yeah.
Very nice.
And the rest.
Design sketch, I should say. So that design.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to change the article. Look at me. How did I do that? Well, we moving on to some comics news as Marvel is celebrating the 70th anniversary of the Muppets with some more alter covers. So these aren't the covers of the actual comics. You can see this is her Amazing Spider-Man number 13. There's a regular Spider-Man edition, but you can find a variant cover featuring the Muppets. Here you got Kermit as Thor on the Rainbow Bridge and Gonzo as the Silver Surfer. We also have Venom.
Who's he heralding?
What?
Who's he heralding? Like, because Silver Surfer brings in Galactus, right? So
yeah, I don't know. There's almost a hidden Mickey back there, but not quite.
Not even.
What else we got? Spider Ham. Not really. But yeah, Piggy as Spider-Man, pretty cool. The Fantastic Four. No, this would be Avengers. Sorry. It's the Electric Mayhem. That is I hadn't seen it before that, and that was a little scary for a second. I guess he's supposed to be like Wolverine. And then Hulk and the Thing as Statler and Waldorf. So the first one of these is going to be released on October 8th, and then a few more each week for the rest of, I think, the 15th and the 22nd. So very fun alternate covers. If you're fans of Marvel or the Muppets, you can keep an eye out for those. And then Tony, You would think this would be my story, but because of where it takes place, it's yours.
It's not on the list, so let's see.
Sure, it is.
Oh, we went back. Sorry. Yes, you would think it would be your story. Because of where it takes place, yes, 100%. Disney Animation Building has been taken over at California Adventure for a limited time only, and not the whole thing, just the Sorcerer's Workshop and Beast Library area, for a special limited time only Lorcana event. Kyle, how limited is this time?
It's limited to while supplies last, and we don't know when supplies will run out.
Didn't you talk to somebody, though?
I talked to somebody and asked. They said that there's a lot of cards.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's really what I was trying to get out. Other events are taking place around the world, here in Florida and also in Paris, but those were all kind of over the weekend. This one started on the weekend, on the 29th, I believe. I do not know if it's still going on, but the animation.
I believe it should be. Last I saw, so it seemed like on the day that Mike went, it was very busy. He wasn't able to actually experience it because everything had been redeemed by the time he could actually get over to DCA. But I've since seen other posts that it seems to be a little less hectic now. I really hope Mike gets a chance to do this, because I did see a video from someone else, and what they've done to Beast Library for this temporary thing, I was actually really impressed. I thought they had some really cool details and stuff. It's not Beast Library technically, because they cover up the beasts and stuff. Yeah. But there was some controversy about whether it was actually taking place there. It is. I've seen the video. I can attest to this, even though we haven't done it personally. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I hope it lasts for a bit longer, and I hope that they do more of this. And I'm sorry. I hope this brings more people into your. People get to chat and enjoy that.
I agree. I think it's more because so many people go, well, the air conditioning is great in there. Yeah, but there's so much stuff to do in there. You have Animation Academy. You have the Sorcerer's Workshop. You used to have the Beast Library and Ursula Describe, but that's a whole other thing. Turtle Talk is gone. Or Turtle Talk is still there, I should say. The other stuff's gone. But so for this, the line, it was proven so popular, they had to rework the whole queue system inside the building, which I sent Mike on a kind of a goose chase to figure out for me. Because where the Lorcana line is normally the Anna and Elsa line, which got moved to Animation Academy, and that line got moved outside and around the building.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
But I think it's really cool, and I saw the video because you sent it to me. The way they do the lighting in the Beast Library, and they have like show effects with the person. I think it's a really cool limited time thing. But I think we might see it again in the future with other chapters.
That makes sense. I mean, they already have things set up for it. There wasn't. Just from a quick look, it didn't seem like anything was overly themed to just Fabled.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case.
So, yeah.
Sorry, it's funnier if I interrupt you with the breaking news. You could say what you wanted to say, though.
I don't remember now.
Oh, sorry. Well, we got a brand new poster. Marvel Zombies coming September 24th. There's also a new trailer, which we are not going to watch. It is a TVMA show. And if Doobie were here, he'd probably already be mad about this. But Marvel Zombies, brand new poster. Had to
have red eyes, Kyle.
That. Are you ready for your quiz now?
Yes.
All right, Tony. On this day in 1964, an actor was born. He is known for way better roles, way bigger roles, I should say. It's a fine role. But as far as Disney, Toy Story 4 is his main credit.
Tony Hale.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
went in with such confidence. Toy Story 4 is his main Disney credit, born in 1964.
Whoa.
Toy Story 4.
Who was it? He was a new character in Toy Story 4, obviously, because he's only in Toy Story 4.
Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves, Duke Kaboom, yes. On this day in 1979, an attraction opened at Disneyland. It is still there.
1979?
1979.
1979 at Disneyland. And it's still there.
Pretty popular. An e-ticket.
An e-ticket in 1979.
I don't know if it was an e-ticket in 1979. It's an e-ticket in general. I assume it was.
Oh, Big Thunder Mountain.
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, yes. On this day, 1985, an attraction closed at Disneyland that I didn't realize that I never actually had the chance to ride. I didn't remember riding it, but I didn't realize that it was closed before I was born.
1985?
1985, closed to make way for a new attraction.
The case.
That is still there. Maybe that opened in 86.
Oh, Adventure Through Inner Space.
Adventures Through Inner Space, yes. And finally, on this day in 2016, the final, for now, Touchstone movie was released. Do you know what it is?
What year?
2016. The last Touchstone released film.
That was way later than I thought.
I think you probably wrote about it because I think you were working for Laughing Place at 2016.
I was
right?
not. I was 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just assume that time means nothing, so that
it's true. Time means nothing, but 2016. Oh, I know this one actually. Is it Romeo and Juliet?
No.
Oh.
That was a good guess though. The Light Between Oceans.
Oh no, not even guess. Not even close.
Yeah. And that's it. We're not going to do Sorcerer Street because this current season is over. It will be starting a new one very soon. And congratulations to our winners. You'll be getting emails about your prizes. And yeah, we'll be launching the new season soon. And like I said, we should be doing football picks on Thursday. So we'll have the return of that. Doobie should be back tomorrow with me for a regular morning show without any exciting hijinks. What?
Should be back.
I never know. Things happen. So that's why I hedge and say should. But thank you all for joining us. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell. At noon today, we'll be at Disney's Animal Kingdom with Jeremiah, looking at the closed boneyard, the updated map. He'll show you where you get your nuggies now and where you're going to get your nuggies in the future. And then at 4:30, or nope, 4 o'clock Pacific, we'll have Barely Necessities with Rebecca and Becca. And then finally at 7:30, we should have trivia and with Gideon and Doobie. So be sure to ring the bell so you know whenever we go live, and go back and check all of our Destination D23 coverage from over the weekend. I think we uploaded 40 videos in the past 3 days. So
is that including the Horror Nights collection as well?
Including the Horror Nights, yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We will see you real soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I lost where the thing. There it is.